So much for the caution-free race. We have had a crash involving two cars, Wade Cunningham and Charlie Kimball. You can see both cars are pretty damaged, and of course the one that Cunningham crashed is the winning car for the Indianapolis 500 this year, driven by our colleague here in the booth tonight, Dan Weldon. We see both drivers out of their cars and okay.
Because you jinxed us, and it's my Indianapolis 500 car.
Sorry about that.
And I hate to say this, I really do, but this is a case with two rookies. You've got to be able to read, what somebody's car's doing. Charlie Kimball's car had an obvious push, and Wade just didn't give him any room.
And Charlie Kimball on the radio, first thing he said was the car just...
Yeah, right there.
All right, look at Dario here and how close he was to hitting both Cunningham and Kimball. There he is in the middle of the screen.
Oh, we've got a yellow on the racetrack and a spin. Charlie Kimball has spun the car.
Well, he was by himself.
All by himself.
Now, he did have his left front under the white line, if that means anything or not. Sometimes those white lines are pretty slippery.
He definitely had people right behind, but no one directly in front. Simon Pagenaud looked like Saavedra behind.
We've got a car that is off track and big damage to Charlie Kimball's car.
Yep, he wadded that one up.
Yeah, boy, and that is in turn one where he apparently came off the track in a very odd place. This is not where we saw Justin Wilson have the problem, Mark. It looked like he simply missed the apex of the corner, and that was a big hit.
That's what happened to Will Power when I saw that 2 years ago in turn number 2. Ideally, I think you'd like to be low, in particular going into... Oh, we have a huge crash here on the track right now. It looks like Mikhail Aloshin. I'll have to look up who it is. I saw Aloshin earlier was running very close with Charlie Kimball and as well Sebastian Saavedra, but don't want to identify just yet who it is, as we have yet to identify. Looks like Marco Andretti may have been involved just by looking at the colors. Now, a few laps ago, I noticed, and indeed I do see Charlie Kimball in the car. He is moving. That is good news, but I did see...
He was involved in an ugly incident. On the low line, Mikhail Aloshin spins, and poor old Charlie had nowhere to go.
He didn't, and, I have to give credit to Charlie here. I mean, totally innocent there, massive crash, and such a violent experience to go through. A lot of people have to...
Incredible. I mean, he turned it over so we could hear him go by. We heard it start into the Doppler effect, and then we heard the screech of the tires and the slam with the wall. Yeah, that's not the kind of picture we were hoping to paint for the folks, Paul, quite frankly, using our radio theater of the mind. But, the Havato 6. In that short speedway where these cars get backwards, and you see the back car flying into the exit, front to the back of the car, not the front. Although the front of the hopped up on the wall, stayed away.
That's turns 2 and 3.
Oh, that's tight right there. You're not going to go two abreast for very long.
Oh, no, Kimball! Right away.
What did I tell you? And that is Charlie. That will put him out.
And that's 2 races in a row. Kimball went out on the first lap at St. Pete.
I could see that brewing immediately. I said, you're not going to go two abreast for very long. And Will Power looks like he might have a bent A-arm.
Yeah, but
Charlie's car, the rear suspension is broken. The rear wing is broken. Side pod, but... This is disastrous for Will Power. He saw this brewing here as they went into the fountain. It's almost impossible to get through that two abreast. Will Power stuffs it down the inside. Charlie, they bump there. bump again, and Will says, I'm going by no matter what, and he wasn't all the way up there.
Well, but listen, that started, Paul, side by side at the fountain. It's not like Power stuffed his way in. They were side by side going in there. Kimball's got to know somebody's still there.
Yeah, but you got to know Charlie's tough to pass. He's always tough to pass, and Will wasn't all the way up on him, so everybody knows that Charlie is a tough.
So whether they've been able to correct that or not, RHR is running in fourth. What's happened to Charlie Kimball here?
His
in
car's
the
dirty.
Traceba Carlin entry. So something happened, turn 17.
See a lot of mud on the top of the side pod, so he's been off somewhere.
Yeah, broken front wing.
Good, but your call.
Yeah, he's got a broken front wing. You could probably run on that because you're not going super fast. It just depends if it's rubbing on the tire or not.
Go impact to the front end of that Carlin car of Charlie Kimball.
Looks like he might stop on track. Yeah, he's got an anti-stall, so the motor is stalled. And this will bring out a full course caution and group everybody up again. That big lead that Newgarden had is now going to evaporate.
Full course caution.
But let's find out if Ed Jones might have had anything to do with Kimball here. He just goes out of frame there, and you can see he's right up under the back of Kimball. But gosh, it's hard to tell, Paul. I don't think we saw anything to suggest contact.
Pagano now needs to save fuel. He can't let Rossi go. Oh, we got a crash, and that is what Pagano needed when he was in the lead.
Sebastian Bourdais is in it. Sebastian Bourdais, Felix Rosenquist, Zach Veach, Charlie Kimball. This is huge.
Pagano needed that to happen about 5 seconds beforehand.
220 miles an hour.
And look at Bourdais, tries to catch the slide, but it's too late. Car's gone, and at this point, Graham's up in the dirt and can't see anything in the tire smoke.
And then the guys in the back in that tire smoke, you can't see. Look at all these guys. They're all hard.
That was Rosenquist, just flat lost it.
Yeah, hard on the brakes. You can't see, and you're on the brakes, and the rear end comes out from you. Those guys are just trying to lock it down and trying not to hit anything.
Look at Hunter-Reay trying to, just avoid Kimball.
Speaking of Ryan Hunter-Reay, I bet you we've got an onboard of that. Here's a different angle. Oh, look at Bourdais' car climb. Beaches into the wall. Andretti gets through. Dixon gets through. Kimball doesn't. Rosenquist doesn't. Harvey does. Scott Dixon, as he comes to the checkered flag, wins in Texas to kick the season off. Caution flies at the same time as the checkers. Charlie Kimball in the wall, but Dixon starts the 2020 season on a high. Fourth win here in Texas.
Penalties and unlapped himself twice to finish up in 8th. So that's a fantastic drive for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Charlie Kimball cutting across the front there of James Hinchcliffe. He was on fresh tires too, going for it, trying to have a big finish, and it just didn't work out. And that's a shame because Kimball had an outstanding night.